Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to talk about all the books that I hauled in the month of August. I usually don't do this many book hauls so quickly in succession, but I have been reading more and that motivates me to buy more books. But to be fair, most of these were not bought regular price. I'm trying to see which ones were. I think it was maybe like two. If you don't know me, I thrift books, Goodwill, Pango, eBay. eBay is such a good place to buy used books because there's a lot of like used bookstores and like Goodwills from like individual towns that upload their books on eBay and they sell them usually one really cheap and two with free shipping. One of the best places to get books, and I know you all are sleeping on that. I have about 11 books in this haul. A lot of them are classics. Most of these are like library editions. Like I hauled them and they were from like a library. But yeah, I think we should just get started. I think we can start with the classics. So I've been talking about wanting to read more classics. This one is one that I've had my eye on since I heard about it, and so I have picked it up. So I have The Monk by Matthew Lewis. This is one of those books where the premise just like got to me. This book is about a man, a monk, who is very pious, very religious, and I believe he gets tempted by someone and he kind of just goes down this spiral of like debauchery. It says that he does like sorcery, murder, incest, and torture, which sounds crazy, but I believe that this was very like scandalous when it was published. I think it was published by a member of parliament. It just sounds like a crazy gothic time. Recommended a lot by people who really like gothic literatures, and gothic literature is probably the classic subgenre that I want to get into more of. I might have to blur the cover or something. I'm not quite sure. Or can you even see it? I heard that this next book is like a response to The Monk, and that is Zofloyal or The Moor by Charlotte Dacre. This book follows a young woman who goes through like a life of privilege, but at some point she kind of goes through this insane amount of abuse. And it says at some point she goes through a career of deepening criminality conducted under Satan's watchful eye. That sounds wild. And I think it's called The Moor because our main character has an intense sexual attraction to her Moorish servant. Naturally, I'll probably read The Monk first and then pick up this one since this was supposed to be a response. I got that last book from a Pango seller, and they were also selling A Sicilian Romance by Anne Radcliffe, another very popular name in like Gothic literature. In this, we follow, I think, two sisters who live in a very like secluded mansion area in some island off of like Sicily, I'm assuming. And their father comes back to their home and a bunch of weird creepy stuff starts happening. I'm sure like ghosts or whatever. It's a gothic, so that's just like what I'm assuming is going to happen. I know that Anne Radcliffe is a very popular name in this subgenre of classics, so hopefully I enjoy their work. Wuthering Heights has been in the social media landscape more so now these days because of that trailer, that teaser that's being pushed out because of that new adaptation. And a lot of people have a lot of thoughts. I've never read Wuthering Heights. I would like to. I technically already have a different edition. I have one of the Barnes and Noble editions, and I don't really like those that much. So I picked up this Oxford World's Classic. I really like the artwork that they chose for this one. I believe this was also from Thrift Books, and when you buy so many books from Thrift Books, you like acquire loyalty points, and anything under like $6 you can technically get for free with like 1,000 points or something. And again, a lot of my books are thrifted from there, so I think this was technically free. I live very close to A, my middle school that I went to when I was younger, and B, a Goodwill. And I'm pretty sure my middle school donated like a ton of, what do they call it, weeded books that are no longer being circulated. And one of the books that they had was Alice's Adventure in Wonderland and Through the Looking Glass by Lewis Carroll. I believe I've read Alice's Adventures in Wonderland a long time ago, but they had this nice edition at the Goodwill. Can you see it? It still has a lot of sticky residue. I'll like have to like fix that later. It also had the checkout card on this book, and it says like the earliest checkout was February 1996. So this is like a really cool, like old copy. I just thought that was really cool to see. I'm sure libraries don't really like do that kind of checkout method anymore. It's kind of dated and there's probably like easier ways to do it. And another book that I got that I think was weeded from my middle school was Anna Karenina by Leo Tolstoy. If there's a middle schooler that read Anna Karenina, hats off to you. Is it normal for Anna Karenina to be spelled like that? I didn't know that there was like a difference. I guess middle schoolers were reading the fuck out of this. If you're curious, this was first checked out in October 10th, 1996. Also, this was part of like the accelerated reader program, if you're familiar with that, and this one was worth 69 points and the reading level was 9.6. These next two books are not technically classics, but I do believe they were also weeded from my middle school library, and that is Wild Magic by Tamora Pierce and Squire by Tamora Pierce. I've read both of these books. I love them. I love Tamora Pierce. She's one of my favorite fantasy authors of all time. I just really liked these covers. They're kind of illustrated. I don't really like the newer covers that they've given her the last time they redesigned them because she's had a couple covers. Understandably, it's a really old, well, these are older series, but I really like the artwork. I actually don't have, I do have this book in paperback, and I actually don't think I have Squire at all, so at least I have a physical copy now. Wild Magic is the start of one of her series in the Tortau universe. Tamora Pierce has a couple series that take place in like the same like kingdom. In this one, we follow a young woman who has a type of wild magic that is not what is liked and respected by like the sorcery guild or whatever you want to call it. It's like a more animal based magic that is not really taught the way other magic is taught. And then we have Paige, which is the first book in the Protector of the Small series. In this one, I don't want to spoil too much, but our main character wants to be a knight, and because of previous books and events, women can now be like pages and squires and stuff and become lady knights. And we follow a character who wants to do just that. Again, I really love Tamora Pierce. I highly recommend. I know a lot of like female authors, fantasy authors, kind of look to Tamora Pierce as like moment in their writing reading adventure. From what I've heard, I do know that I think Cassandra Clare talks has talked about Tamora Pierce. Maybe I know someone else has. Maybe Lee Bardugo. Maybe Lee Bardugo also talked about Tamora Pierce. I just love her book so much, and I couldn't like pass up like a different edition. I also picked up a binding of the Area X series by Jeff Vandermeer. I believe he might come out with another book, but I think officially there's 4 at the moment, and this combines Annihilation, Authority, and Acceptance. I really liked Annihilation after I read it the second time. I kind of got a better grasp on it, and I'm really excited to continue. I need to focus on the books that are in series that I'm actively reading because I do have a problem starting series and not continuing them. But this is definitely on my list of series that I'm actively reading. So hopefully I'll get to the next one soon. These next few books are the ones that I paid like full price for, which I don't usually do. One of these is from a subscription box, and the other one is from like an actual bookstore. I have tried Caffeines and Legends, which is a subscription service, and I do like it. It is a bit pricey, so I'm gonna take a break from it. But one of the books that I got was 7 Recipes for Revolution by Ryan Rose. This is a fantasy series where you follow a butcher, and I don't think I've ever read a butcher character. One of the meats that he works with is from these like super large magical beasts, and only like wealthy people are allowed to access that meat. And it gives people like magical abilities when they eat it. And he combines this meat with some spices, which he's not allowed to do because only wealthy people are allowed to like eat some this special magical like animal meat. And some weird stuff happens. That's kind of like what I've gotten from the story. It sounds like a very odd fantasy novel, but that's not necessarily a bad thing. And the last book in this haul is Dead Silence by S.A. Barnes. I have been wanting to read like a horror sci-fi set in space for some time now. It's one of my favorite genres to watch in film. In this one, we follow a character and her crew where they pick up some sort of distress signal, a beacon, and they go and investigate this luxury space liner like that's been lost for some time now, and like bad stuff happens. It's very much a premise that we've probably heard from before, but it's like a premise that's like so good that you kind of have like it's one of I like the premise. I've read it before, I've seen it before. Anyways, I hope it's good because again, I did pay a regular price for this. I probably could have just like bought it used because it's been out for a hot minute. But so that's my little haul for August. Again, I usually wait until I get like 20 or so books, but it seems like I'm getting more books than usual, which is a good thing and a bad thing. We'll see if my haul for this coming month is just as big. I'm looking at the stack that I've already received here in September. You'll probably see another one of these soon, unfortunately. I mean, I love hauls. So it's a good thing for me. Maybe not for my pocketbook, but talk to me down below in the comments about anything I've talked about. I like to hear anything you have to say down below. I will also link my social medias down below as well as some far more important links. Feel free to like, dislike, comment, or subscribe, or do neither. It's all cool with me. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.